Corner. I have a very special guest. All my guests are special, but this is extremely special because Franny and I have been friends for like over 25 years.
Yes, because my son's 26, so almost 30.
Almost 30 years. Yeah. Francesca Apolito, who's been training for 100 years. She's just turned 54 and is in awesome shape. Better than most 20-year-olds, I might add. And I just wanted her to talk about training, how it's evolved and what's gone on with it, where she started, and just a little discussion about women's training today and bodybuilding, where it's going, where it's come from, what it's evolved to, and what the new generation has changed in it, because our bodies are the same as they were 30 years ago, 40 years ago, 50 years ago.
Right.
But the diet changes along the way, the training changes a little bit, and so we'll talk about that. So the first thing I want to say, I already said it. I introduced it as the first thing. What got you into bodybuilding? Was that your first thing, bodybuilding?
Bodybuilding was my first thing. I was 18, got a job at Cynthia Edwards Figure Salon, 1978. And
it's still in business.
Yeah. No, actually, and her husband was, he had owned a gym and he had bodybuilders in his gym.
Yeah.
And very old school. And that's how I learned from. She had a salon. It was a figure salon. Mm-hmm. But the guys, they trained like the guys in your generation, like Bill Pearl.
Right.
So we were training with those guys.
Right.
And they took me in their wing. And so that's all I knew was how to train like with the bodybuilder.
Yeah.
And I still do the same things I did 30 years ago, 36 years ago. So everybody thinks there's new, things, but, basic bodybuilding is how you get in shape. Lifting weights, and it's not like, they have to change it up because they feel like they need to. So they get excited and you go on Instagram and you see all the girls doing all these little exercises, but you're not building any muscle. You're just moving. It's good to move like that because you're burning calories, but you don't build muscle doing that. It's good for cardiovascular and shape, but again, I'm going to go back to, as women, we lose muscle and we lose bone mass, muscle mass as we get older.
Right.
So we want to lift as heavy as possible. We cannot get big. And that's when women come in and say, I don't want to get big, I'm like, you are big. You know, you can't build that much muscle, only if they're eating a lot and, lifting weights. That's how they get bigger, because they say, I don't want to get bulky.
Right.
So they only get bulky if they're eating their diets wrong.
That's such a misconception because, you're one of the best trainers around. You know when people want to train and say, I want to get in shape, but I don't want to be big like that guy. I don't want to be big like that. And you know what? It's not going to happen.
It's not, ever.
It doesn't happen like that. And weight training is the only way to really develop your shape of your body because that's your structure of your skin that goes over it and gives you the contour that you want.
Yes.
Now, all these other exercises that you do, now you told me when you walked in I need to stretch. I do need to stretch.
Right. Oh, as we get older, we really need to stretch.
Big time.
Yes, and there's like the different exercises that we do, we get really tight. So as we get older, our joints go.
Right.
And it doesn't matter how great a shape we are in, it's our knees, our hips, our shoulders, so we really have to open everything up.
Right.
Because we do everything this way, but a lot of times in bodybuilding, we don't do anything this way.
Everything's pumping.
So everything we need to open up. And then the way we sleep, we do this, we get comfortable, we could cause arthritis in ourselves because there's no blood circulation. But when you're young, you could do anything.
Yeah.
That's why the CrossFit, everything is like, oh, let's do this. But you know what? If you really look at the way they're doing it, I have nothing against it, but it is a lot of injuries.
It is, but I still see you doing lunges across the floor and all these things. At your age, you can still do all that.
Oh, yes, I can still do that, but I watch a lot of people, they put people in classes.
Right.
So I'm very much, if you're paying attention, I'm watching these girls that their knees don't go over their, their joint, their feet, or they don't put a lot of stress, they're relaxed, and I'm always boom, 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 boom.
No, you're right on it.
That's why I don't give classes. I don't like boot camps. It's okay, because, as trainers, we have to bring in the money. And you can only train so many people in a day. And so if they have them in groups, it's a lot easier then if you have them in groups. Yes, everybody gets motivated and everybody likes to pump, but, if you're really looking at these videos, they all have really bad form. Well, and they're very much, they get injured, they get their backs injured.
Yes.
But they're like, yeah, that was a great workout, but all they did was work out.
Yeah, years ago I used to say doctors don't give everybody the same medicine.
Right.
It depends on what your ailment is,
Right.
And not everybody can do the same exercise. Right. They can't do the same speed, and they're not as agile as some. Some work with weights, some can't do it. So you have to specify, and I see when you work with your clients, you take a lot of time with them, and you've gotten really good results with everybody.
Right.
But they have to do their homework, right?
Yeah, you have to do your homework. I could do all the training I want, and my clients have done great work in the gym, but they're only with me 3 days a week and 3 hours. So the rest of the time they have to eat properly. And my diet is so boring. Everybody makes fun of it, but they all come to me when they want to get in that great shape because it's boring. It's protein and vegetables. It is caveman's diet. And you know what? A lot of people that keep changing the diet, but the only way you're going to get in shape is, I always say, when you want to get lean, you do what us bodybuilders did back in the day.
It works.
You get those carbohydrates. They're limited, although you basically want to put a little bit more fats and lean proteins.
I was just telling somebody that. Do you do coconut oil?
I have. I
just started.
Yeah, and you know what? We need that in our bodies. We need to lubricate ourselves. We need to hydrate, lubricate, and that's how we do it when we get older, so we don't shrivel.
Do you think that the coconut oil is like equivalent to fish oil, or is it kind of the same?
Coconut oil is probably a little bit better.
Is it?
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't researched it a lot, but any kind of oils in our system, instead of like... Yeah, it is. It's going to, and it's great for our brain.
That's what I heard.
Yeah,
I'm
brain
so much smarter
more
this week.
than but more than the carbohydrates. Kind of like the carbohydrates, kind of make you fat and tired, But everybody keeps saying that is good for your brain, but it's more the fat from researching for me and trial and error.
How many times a day do you take it?
Throughout the day, because I wake up at 3 o'clock every morning.
Okay.
So by the time 6 o'clock in the evening comes, I feel like I've been up for 20
No, I know.
hours.
I've seen it. Do you keep a protein something with you all day long to sip or drink or whatever?
Well, I bring my food. The best source for me for energy is my own food. I do not buy lunches out. I don't take protein shakes. Although the men could have it, I just found out that as women, it's hard for us to digest the protein drinks.
Okay.
And it's if you have food, only for an emergency you could have the protein shakes, but if you have food, it's the best.
It really is a real thing.
It's the real thing. And that's how I was taught. So that's what I take with me, because I don't want to keep taking different stuff, because I know what works for my body. Well, anybody's body is going to work for if you just eat. A lot of people, they take so many supplements. We didn't have those back in the day.
No, we didn't have
the pre-workout and this post-workout.
No such thing.
Yeah, all they do is get crazy.
And there was no cardio.
Yeah, I take, if there's, that's how they're going to build. But I like to incorporate the cardio in their training.
Now, but back in the day, they didn't have it.
Yeah.
We didn't have machines.
Of course, they're going to, I like the machines at Gold's Gym because they're old school machines.
Yes.
And I'd rather have those. That's why I like our gym.
Do you have a junk day now?
Oh yeah, yesterday. What happens Sundays? And even if it was junk, it was like I would say the good source of junk. Like I went to Farm Boy, and I would go to the drive-thru, but I would go through Farm Boy, and I would have like sushi or extra. But what I do is I get so excited about the sugar, then it gives me like a hangover.
It does.
It's the same exact feeling as when you're drinking, because that sugar and the alcohol is the same thing. So when someone says, "Oh, Dr. Oz said I could have the red wine or this," it still sits on your body. It doesn't digest like food does. So. And
it doesn't digest like when you get older. It stays there.
Everything just stays there as we get. But I was being a woman in my 50s, and everybody's like through the menopause and stuff like that. I don't feel it because of what I do.
Exactly.
I do the training, and I make sure that I don't get, my hormones are so leveled out, and I could tell when I go off my diet or don't train, you start getting like that typical, you fall into that line of that typical way that the book says how you're going to feel.
Yeah.
And you get the you gain weight, you do this. You don't get any of that thing, or any of those things, if your diet is right and your training.
How many times a day are you eating?
Oh, like six or 7 times a day.
You take it with you, so how many, every 3 hours or so?
Every 3 hours. Like I have food in the car right now, so when I go back to the gym, I'll have 2 more meals. I have more
and it does get boring.
But boring is good. No. Boring makes your body look great.
It does.
Now, you could be, fat and happy, or skinny and kind of bitter. But you know what? It's just, I wouldn't say bitter. I'm intense. When people use the word, "You're so intense." Yeah. Why don't you live a little? Well, I am living.
Yeah.
So when I do go off my diet, like when it was my birthday, yes, I went out and I had but I felt awful the next day.
That's the thing. I mean, that's really not living. You're enjoying the meal for the moment, and you feel like crap after, and it's like, so what,
Yeah. I mean, this is what I do for work, so people are not going to come up to me if I'm out of shape.
Right.
They always say, the first thing they're going to say to me is, "I was watching you. I was watching your client." People pay attention.
That's true.
And so
And how many trainers do you see that are out of shape?
There's a lot.
A lot.
But a lot of them are so smart, and I'm like, wow, you guys are you have so much knowledge, but people are not going to, you don't see your knowledge.
No, not in your body. So they're not going to look at them and say, I want him to train me because I want to look like him.
Right.
You know, that happens a lot. And some have knowledge, but I don't know if they have, the younger guys don't have the experience of the old school.
Experience. And you know what? Like, somebody just got their certification. So what does that mean?
Nothing.
I mean, nothing. They don't even teach you. We didn't have certifications back then.
Nope.
And everything's a lot of money. So what they do is just a liability thing.
Right.
So they don't teach you how to train. Any of these classes do not teach you how to train unless you go to a class for that specifically.
Right.
But mine is just like, just experience.
I have a really crazy question for you. It just came to me just now. Years ago, when you trained somebody in the gym, you took them in and trained. They bought a membership. Sometimes they bought a juice or they bought a shirt, and they left. And you didn't have to pay a fee to the gym to train somebody.
Oh, right.
What's your feelings on that? Do you think you should have to pay a fee?
Yes.
Why?
Well, because I could have my own business someplace else, and I would have to pay for overhead and everything like that. So, the only thing I would like more is a little bit more, like a little bit more hookups for my clients, or getting extra, because I bring a lot of people off the street.
Okay, I have a feeling about that, because, I mean, you're right in whatever you think you want to do, but I always thought if I had a gym and I had trainers working for me, I would give them incentive to bring people in and join and train them by giving them a free month, maybe throw a shirt, because they're bringing more people. Like car salesmen, they don't pay for rent, but they bring customers in. So if the trainers bring you clients into your gym and they're buying, I would encourage them to buy and say, okay, you get a free month on your membership for being my outside sales help, right? It can work both ways.
I would like it if they did that. If, you know, what I do now with my clients, there's a lot of people that they're afraid to train and they don't want to go from one gym to the next.
Right.
This is what I do. I have different packages. Sometimes I buy their memberships. Mm-hmm. They buy their memberships if they pay me up front 3 months.
Okay.
So I buy the membership at the front desk for that. And so a lot of it works out, or if they can, and it depends. I will not drop my price. What I do is make it affordable for them if they can.
Okay.
And if they could stay with me, it's so much easier if they could stay with me, because everybody wants such quick results, and that's why the diet is so strict, because women, we need to see it. We want quick. That's why they go, and I'm like, if you just stay with me for a while, that would all get tightened up. I want butt injections. I want this. I want that. And I'm like, you know what? You don't need that. Let me just work with you for a while.
Right.
I always say I'm the doctor or the surgeon without the knife, because I could sculpt your body.
Yeah, it's true.
There's only certain things you could do, but if you give me your time, I could really do so much more work.
Yeah.
And you know what? Which is the best thing I could see in the woman when I see their attitude change is when they come in and they don't know why, they were just like, they can't do anything.
Right.
To all of a sudden they get stronger and they feel better. I have so many women that have changed their jobs or got married or even got engaged just because of the way they feel and the way they look.
Attitude changes.
Yeah.
You've been doing this how many years?
36.
That's a long time.
Yeah, and we have something in common.
What would that be, friend?
We both won Mr. and Mrs. Well, you won Mr. Venice Beach. 1978.
Yes, we did.
And I did 2008. 2008, so it's like 30 years.
If I calculate right, that is
30 years, about 30 years.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah, it's great.
Do you still go to the contest?
I stopped. I haven't gone so on. But, yeah, those are, you know what? Those are more honest competitions.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you why, because the judges, they're very honest, and I know the judges, so they're honest, and they don't, there's no, now that, like, NPC is really, you know, they have all their, you know, little, what do you call it?
Oh, they got their little cast of judges. Not
just the judges, but they have teams, staff, and I love the teams. And I say team sets because she has, you know, she's really good, Michelle. She's really good at what she does.
Yeah.
But that's what she specializes in, which is awesome. But a lot of times, you know, it's political. When you're like clear as day that this person, like back in the day, that would have never happened.
It's so political.
Yeah.
We have a few minutes left, so I want to ask you a couple more things. Bodybuilding's changed immensely over the years.
Yeah.
Why? Extreme is more is better.
I don't know. I think that because they want to change it, they want to be. I just think that I never followed that. I've always stayed to myself.
Right.
And then sometimes I'm like, well, maybe I should try that. I go, no.
The women have gotten way too big.
Oh God, as far as that, absolutely. I really like. See, I'm from the Rachel McLeish days.
Yeah.
and and Corey Everson, and even that at that time they even thought Corey was too big. Now Corey looks like a little bikini girl compared to the girls.
Of course.
And it's like even that right now I'm actually Corey's size back in the day. She's more muscular than me, but I was like, oh my God, I want to look like Corey.
Corey's always looked good.
Amazing, and such an amazing person. But like even there, it's over the top. I'm like, how much bigger can you get? Let the women be the women.
I know. I mean, it's really gotten out of hand, and the guys too, for that matter. 300 pounds to compete, 330 pounds nowadays. Yeah. It's like a heart attack walking around.
Yeah, but like even my Frank Zane back in the day, that's like wow. Like look at his physique.
Yeah.
Bob Paris. Those are beautiful physiques.
Yeah, they were aesthetically pleasing. And
nice and now they're just so you don't even know what
No, it's crazy.
Yeah, well, because of the drugs and everything like that. And
of course.
Then it's just
Everybody wants to be bigger and better.
Yeah. Well then. Then along with all that, when they come off of it, look at all the side effects from all that.
It's crazy. And then you lose it all. So what's your future plans?
Until I die.
I mean, you'll be training for, you have any years in mind, or you just want to continue?
No, just do it till I can't do it anymore. Okay. Look at Albert Beckles in the gym.
He's 84.
84? That's my dad's age. I mean, that is amazing.
And he's still training hard.
He still trains.
Yeah, hard.
And every time he does it, he's like, before he does the set, he goes, oh, you like it.
Yeah, he cusses himself out.
He cusses himself out.
And he almost died last year from major back surgery. I mean, he was in bad shape for months. He's back in there, and that's what he said, this would save my life. Have me together.
Absolutely, absolutely. And it looks amazing.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
All right, now, if these people want to find you on the internet, where can they find you besides Facebook is one?
Yeah, and Instagram. It's Physique by Francesca.
Okay.
At gmail.com. Yeah. And the Facebook is Francesca Apolito. Find me in Gold's Gym.
North Hollywood.
But I'm not like an internet person. Like I post some of my videos with training my girls, but I don't like.
Social media is the way, though.
It is the way. I wish somebody could do it for me. I get so tired. I have to think about it all the time.
It's a job.
Yeah, it's a job,
especially from the cell phone and all.
I'm just glad that I wake up in the morning, and then to get to the gym at 5 a.m.
I wake up in the morning. I say, okay, feet, legs, arms, shoulders. Let's all get up.
But look at us. I know.
All together.
I know.
Not one at a time. Well, I want to thank you for being here and giving me this time.
Thank you so much.
It took me a long time to get here.
I know. I'm finally here. Poor Rick.
But I know. I've been sitting out in this hot place, waiting for you. But thank you, and you know where to find her.
I'll be back.
And she'll be back, and we'll talk more. That was great. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome so much.
Goodbye, people. See you next time.
Bye.
This corner is coming up every week.
It's RickDrasin.com. He is the equalizer, baby. See you next time.